No Victoria Principal? She was once American television's beauty, Dallas's brightest star, powerful, and never second best. A cold-eyed woman exited a black limousine in a fitted white coat on set. Never missing a line, she demanded lighting adjustments for every face angle, and was often the last to leave, giving script notes. Her role in creating a legend went beyond acting. She impressed Frank Sinatra, Anthony Perkins, and Andy Gibb, who lost himself in her. Her two marriages. One ended peacefully, the other rumored abuse and financial scandal. Never a mother, she never pleased men. Living her truth was her goal. She left marriage to maintain her freedom, while many clung to it. Now 75 and living alone on an animal rescue ranch, she wonders, was I right? Do I pretend to have no regrets? After watching this video, you'll remember Victoria Principal's burning love and her times of leaving. Prior to her tragic relationship with Andy Gibb, Victoria had had brief relationships that revealed much about her youth. Curious, sensitive, and clear-headed enough not to lose herself. Unexpected names included Frank Sinatra. Victoria, a newcomer to Hollywood, went on a few dates with the legendary American singer, who was nearly 35 years her senior, in the early 1970s. In a quiet interview, she said she admired him, but that the age gap was too great to dream of anything lasting. Victoria had a passionate relationship with Psycho star Anthony Perkins, who was still struggling with his sexuality and social expectations. That relationship was Anthony's first physical love, according to Victoria, who added, "We were both lost, but we were very gentle. Nobody owned it. Promises were absent, only two lonely people who found shelter in each other." After her youth romances, Victoria entered her first marriage with the hope of stability. She had no idea that stability could be so disappointing and disheartening. By 1978, Victoria Principal was at her best as Pamela Barnes on CBS's Dallas. On set, she met rising American television actor and filmmaker Christopher Skinner. Skinner was famous for James at 16 and would later guest star in Chips and Dallas. Though brief, the encounter was powerful. She married him that year after 3 dates. Victoria called it elegant and radiant. Skinner wore a black 3-piece suit with a black bow tie and walked beside her as if everything had aligned. Right person, right time. Reality differed from the dream. Set work took Victoria up to 75 hours a week. However, Skinner wanted a wife who would stay home and start a family, which Victoria could never be. There was no stopping her. It was her choice to focus on her career and refuse anything that required her to give up her identity. A couple realized they loved differently, without a third party or scandal. They divorced quietly a year after dating for 2 years in 1980. Her ex-husband was never publicly criticized by Victoria. Her marriage was respected as an experience, not a failure. Skinner faded after the split. Formerly the heartthrob of many women, he never remarried. Christopher Skinner remained single and away from the media, as if choosing peace after fame. With its early excitement and quiet ending, that first marriage exemplified youth's hasty mistakes. You can walk down the aisle together after 3 dates, but not if you're truly compatible. Her next love was too deep after her first marriage was rushed. Victoria met Andy Gibb, the youngest Bee Gees singer, on TV less than a year after divorcing Christopher Skinner. She couldn't resist a fiery, unbreakable love for the first time, but when pushed too far, it suffocated them both. They had instant and electric chemistry when Victoria Principal met Andy Gibb on The John Davidson Show in January 1981. By 31, Victoria was famous for her role as Pamela. Dallas. The youngest Bee Gees brother, Andy, 23, was fired from Solid Gold for consistent tardiness and drug-related erratic behavior. The handsome, young, charming man publicly exclaimed, "I only watch Dallas because of her." The compliment was sweet for Victoria. Audiences admired it. Those who knew Andy well saw it as a soul desperately seeking a comfort. Their love was strong. No hiding, no care. Andy and Victoria appeared at public events, TV specials, and recorded All I Have to Do Is Dream. Mid-1981 single topped the Billboard Hot 100 at 51. Andrew's last single and Victoria's only. This beautiful love song was only the overture to a tragedy. Set work for Victoria reached 75 hours a week. Andy filled every break in her life. When she didn't answer, he left dozens of messages. He waited 4 hours outside the studio to talk to her. It was devotion to Victoria. Those around her were alarmed. Andy didn't love Victoria, said a close friend. Her company addicted him. Remarrying was not Victoria's goal. She wanted control after one quiet divorce. Andy lost control. Love became frantic, demanding, and unstable. He's scared of losing her. And he used drugs to hold on to something slipping away. March 1982, Victoria issued an ultimatum. Me or drugs? Choose one. Andy was unable to decide. Victoria again left. Years later, after Andy Gibb's death, Victoria said the breakup preceded drug use. She also said, "I tried to help him, but I had to tell him, choosing between me and his problem." Andy became depressed after the breakup. He stopped performing, avoided the studio, and struggled financially. In bed for 2 weeks, he couldn't move. Friends pulled back. Label dropped him. Symbolically and literally, his heart broke. In March 1988, Andy Gibb died of viral myocarditis 2 days after his 30th birthday. His official cause of death was illness, but many believed he died from a long, tragic breakdown of love, fame, and himself. "I just didn't expect that peace to be death," Victoria said in a later interview when asked if she regretted anything. Many still wonder if she let go of it all or carried a piece of that heartbreak for life. After leaving Andy Gibb in March 1982, Victoria Principal wanted peace, but life seemed to never let her rest. She met Beverly Hills plastic surgeon Dr. Harry Glassman unexpectedly in early 1983. Victoria had left Andy after a heartbreak, while Harry was fighting his ex-wife Jane over property. Supposedly, he gave Victoria a recycled wedding band. Victoria insisted otherwise. A woman who had suffered enough responded gently but powerfully with autonomy. Maybe because they were both broken, they found temporary peace in each other, which soon became serious. Victoria loved Harry too. He had 2 children from a previous marriage, which she loved like her own. She said, "If I ever marry again, the only man I'd want to marry is Harry," even though she never intended to. She did that. As Pamela Ewing, Victoria was one of America's biggest stars when they married in Dallas on June 23, 1985. Their nearly 7,000-square-foot Beverly Hills home was far from the spotlight, and they rarely discussed their private lives. Photos of the couple together at events like the 1983 Golden Globes and a 2000 charity gala suggested a life of harmony and love. This Victoria was different to many. Mature, discreet, and settled after romance storms. They had no children. Since Victoria owned a skincare company, rumors circulated that she didn't want children because they would affect her figure. Brand building around natural beauty. However, she made a rare, vulnerable admission to TV Guide. One of the few times the strong, independent woman cracked. Small, but very real. Crack widens over time. Nearly 21 years of closeness. Private relationships were rarely covered by the press. No kids. Speculation persisted that she would not sacrifice her appearance. She repeated, "I don't have children because I couldn't, not because I didn't want to." In May 2006, Victoria filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. On May 23, 2006, the Los Angeles Superior Court received the divorce petition. It was December when the divorce was finalized. Victoria later moved to Malibu and owned Big Sur, California and Switzerland properties. Why did a seemingly stable two-decade marriage end? In 2002, Beverly Hills police raided their home after receiving reports that the actress had been physically assaulted, leaving marks on her eye, lip, neck, and cheek. Glassman was arrested for Victoria's drinking and released on £35,000 bail. Glassman claimed the incident was a police misunderstanding due to Victoria's implied alcohol use. The charges were dropped. Their closed doors still carried the memory of that incident. The divorce prompted media investigations. Many questioned whether Dr. Glassman, a famous cosmetic surgeon, had ever operated on his wife and kept secret records of every procedure. Did he use that to blackmail Victoria into silence or public exposure? Multiple sources claimed Victoria had to pay over $50 million to divide assets, despite having a prenuptial agreement to protect their reputations. She strongly reacted to speculation. Vile fabrication. I didn't buy silence. Regaining peace cost me. Finishing their marriage, with shadows and unanswered questions, not the loud spectacle of a Hollywood breakup. That Beverly Hills mansion's events are unknown. Victoria left again, not because she didn't try, but because she couldn't live in a love where respect had faded and everything else was silent. After a turbulent personal life, she became a CEO and a role model for modern, independent women. Definitely not by chance. Victoria Principal's lovely appearance hid years of skin issues. Frequent makeup, harsh lighting, and a hectic schedule left her face dry, lifeless, and exhausted during Dallas filming. I cried in the mirror, she said. If I feel hopeless with all resources, what must other women feel? She founded Principal Secret, a repair and nourishment skincare line, in 1989 from that experience. Victoria was directly involved in product development, unlike many celebrities who just endorse products. She tested every formula on her skin for months, rejected dozens of samples because the scent wasn't natural, and wrote her own ad copy to ensure it fit her philosophy that women don't need to change. They just need gentle, consistent self-care. Victoria avoided flashy marketing as CEO. She used no 18-year-old models or special effects in her ads. At 40, only Victoria looked straight into the camera and said, "I didn't recognize myself, but I've learned to love myself again." That sincerity helped Principal Secret become a leading television-distributed cosmetics brand for over 25 years, earning hundreds of millions of dollars and building a loyal customer base of middle-aged women who felt overlooked. Professionals estimate Principal Secret made over $1 billion over 30 years. Victoria Principal, the brand's founder, CEO, and sole face, is estimated to have made $200 to $300 million, far more than she earned from acting. Her business acumen earned her a place among beauty industry icons like Jessica Alba, The Honest Company, and Cindy Crawford, Meaningful Beauty. Victorian didn't need social media or media support, unlike them. With honesty, discipline, and determination, she built a beauty empire. Success had repercussions. The media scrutinized Victoria because she promoted natural beauty. There were rumors that her husband, plastic surgeon Harry Glassman, had done cosmetic procedures on her. She denied the allegations, but never fell victim. She kept quiet, with the quiet strength of someone who knows who she is and doesn't need to prove it. Victoria left the beauty industry in 2019 after managing her brand for over 2 decades. No press conference, no fuss. Brief statement: I should focus on nature, animals, and peace. This departure, like her Hollywood exit, was not final. A choice. A woman who reached the top and then resigned to live her own life. No concessions, no permission. Needs no one's approval. Victoria Principal gazed skyward while other aging actresses retired to rose gardens or luxury cruises. She revealed in a widely publicized interview that she had bought a ticket for Virgin Galactic's commercial spaceflight, led by billionaire Richard Branson, not for publicity or to add to her already impressive resume. "I want to see the Earth from afar and return safely," she said. No whim inspired that dream. She loved astronomy since childhood. She spent countless nights stargazing, reading about the universe, and developing a deep belief that humans, famous or not, are tiny specks in space. When she was free of career, marriage, and stage lights, she dared to pursue her longing. The idea of a beautiful woman wanting to leave the world is a paradox. After years of being defined by a flawless face, ideal figure, and ageless woman, Victoria may have had one simple desire: to escape the world's images of her and see herself and humanity from afar, enough to tell what's real from what's been makeup for too long. Space was not for proving anything, according to Victoria Principal. It was a place to let go. No flash bulbs, no perfect eyeliner, just a person alone with the infinite, at peace with her own weakness. Does she go space? Maybe it's irrelevant, because when she bought that ticket and shared the dream, she had already covered more ground than most of us, beyond our own limits, not into the sky. Victoria Principal quietly retreated to a small corner on the outskirts of Los Angeles, after the lights faded, after the passionate love affairs that burned and then broke, and after each of her resurrections. No more cameras or red carpets. She chose a vast sanctuary where she would spend her life caring for forgotten beings. Once famous actress now cares for dozens of abandoned or abused dogs, cats, and other animals since 2012. It wasn't for attention she opened. She did not commence a movement. Her journey was quiet, gentle, and full of conviction, as she had always lived. She named each animal, treated them, retrained them, and stayed with them until they healed. Many see a former Hollywood star reliving her golden years. It was a path to healing for Victoria. Maybe when she stopped believing in human love, she poured it into creatures that couldn't betray her. "Not everyone needs me to be pretty. I'm not needed for fame." She stated that they only require my gentleness and presence. Through a rare interview, Victoria revealed that she had spent her life feeling seen, but never understood. She could finally be herself without judgment. No makeup, no performance, just listening to a starving animal's straining breath and reaching out. Although the sanctuary has no sign or tours, visitors say it feels like a monastery and is peaceful. In an old button-up shirt, bare-faced, with crow's feet framing her eyes, Victoria looked more serene than ever.